what advice would you give newcomers to the ecosystem? Let's start with you, Joe. What advice would you give to newcomers into the ecosystem?
Sure. So we have a community member out there, Lato Pixel, who has done an amazing job in terms of putting together Ergo tutorials. If you're new to the ecosystem, I'm just going to make the assumption that you're relatively new to crypto. And so that is kind of a user-based website that takes you through how everything works, right? When you get into a new system, it's a good idea to understand what you can do, number one, in the system in terms of functionality. It also gives you an idea of, steps to take, functionality, how to protect yourself. I think that it's a good idea to really try to understand how things work before you interact with them. So that website, it really is based on like newcomers into the ecosystem, learning about wallets, how they work, learning about dApps, how to interact with them. Kind of give yourself a minute for, adaptation and training in the ecosystem. I know that the space is kind of synonymous with people like aping into things really hard and having no, due diligence. But please take your time, understand, how to interact with things so you don't make mistakes, and try to do your due diligence in terms of managing your risks, both as a user and potentially with your investments.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good way of going about it. We do have a lot of resources that are available. I mean, I would say, and I mean, I guess it might be obvious to some people, start with the website. Start with the abstract. Joe, I don't know if necessarily with Ergo, people who are just coming into the ecosystem would be new to crypto. Because I think actually to discover, well, look, they could be. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that I think it's a wide spectrum of people. I think actually many of the people that come into Ergo, they've come from other ecosystems and they've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's why Ergo is attractive to them, because they see what Ergo is about. They see the fundamentals, they see the community, they see the roots of Ergo, and it really clicks with them, and so they want to discover more. They want to discover about this, because really, to me, Ergo just really seems like 2015-ish. I'm not saying 2010-ish, 2011-ish when Bitcoin just came out, 2015-ish, and I'll tell you why. Well, just because of all these different all the different tooling, all the different options they have for developers, for users that are available on Ergo, like privacy features, DeFi features, Sigma protocols, all these really cool things that when Bitcoin was just out, or when Ethereum just came out, we just didn't have these things. We just didn't, and we were still coming up with theories for these things. So in a way, it feels like early blockchain, but it's almost like one of those things. What if you were, well, in my case, what if I was 20 years younger, but I knew what I know now about life? What would I do with my life? It's sort of the same with Ergo. You have that purity of where the blockchain movement originated, where P2P cash originated, where where this whole model originated, have it with all this tooling that had time to develop, had time to evolve. And so to me, it's kind of like a combination of the modern and the early together. And so there's this I keep saying purity, but it's really just a adherence to fundamentals that really attracts me to it. And I think that is something that you would read in the Ergo Manifesto. And on the website, on the website, you would see these things. And so I think that for people who know blockchain, but are attracted to Ergo because they heard good things about it, I would say the website, I would say the Ergo Manifesto would probably be the first place to look and to understand. And from there on, you can then kind of engage in the community and take advantage of all these other resources that are more specific to different different areas of the ecosystem that you'd like to learn. That's
Yeah.
my take on this.
I'm a big fan of the Ergo Reddit community in terms of like education and discussion. I think that they do a great job. And Reddit's just nice because things are a little bit more curated than like, I don't know, Twitter's kind of like a website with everybody yelling, and Telegram, also you kind of always have to scroll. I think that Reddit is a great resource just because it's a little bit more organized content wise.